Hi guys, this is CK at CK Education again, and today I want to share a story with you about a student named Matt. And Matt, when I think of Matt, he was a great student. He did very well, and he was very planned. He just he had in his head he knew what he wanted to do, and he was a very organized kid. And so Matt, interestingly enough, both of his parents were doctors. His mom was a pediatrician, and dad was a primary care physician. I think he was in internal medicine or something, but both were physicians. And so we got to talking, and I asked Matt, I said, Matt, both your parents are doctors. Do you see yourself going into medicine as well? Do your parents want you to become a doctor? And do they want you to follow in their footsteps? And he smiled and said to me, no, my parents aren't really like that. They want me to do what I want to do and pursue my own passions. And I said, what do you want to do? And he says, I think I want to go into computer science, something like that. So I said, wow, that's wonderful, man. I think that's great. The reason I share that is that I see a lot of parents who do certain things, who are good at certain things, who are successful in their careers, and they're very adamant about their children following in their footsteps, okay? I did this much, so I expect my kids to do at least that much and maybe more. But the problem with that is sometimes the kids have no interest. They have no passion really in what the parents are doing. The kids are their own, they have their own lives, they have their own passions. And so I think it's very important as parents, and I'm a parent as well, but it's very important not to push your own successes or unfulfilled dreams or whatever they may be onto your kids. I think that's a big mistake. I personally think that's a big mistake. I think that every person has their own purpose, their own talents, their own gifts that they have to pursue, and their own journeys and their own paths to make, and they have to go down their own path. And parents, you got to let your kids do that. If you're adamant that you're a doctor, your kids have to become a doctor, or you're a successful real estate developer, so your kids must carry on that business, I think that's undue pressure on them. Now, they may very well end up doing that, but I think that more often than not, it turns them off to what you want them to do if they feel like you're pushing them to do that. So rather than do that, you sort of give them a little bit of freedom and you let them decide, and who knows, maybe they'll come back and say, hey, you know what, Dad, you know what, Mom, I want to join the family business, or I want to do what you did, and can you tell me more about that? You want it to be more of a pull where the kid is pulling and the parents are supporting, not the parents are pushing them to go a certain way. And I think if you do that, you get more pushback, and I just, it builds resentment in the relationship and all kinds of problems that I've seen over the years. So should kids follow in their parents' footsteps? My answer is yes, if they want to, and no if they don't want to. And I think parents have to give them the freedom to say, it's okay, you don't have to follow my footsteps. You should find out what you're passionate about, what you want to do. And maybe you'll end up doing what I do, but you don't have to do that. And you have your own life, and you should live your life. And I think that is the wise and mature perspective, okay? But let me just tell you how Matt did. Matt started out in reading and writing, he started out at 600. In math, he was a little bit better, he started out at 620. So his starting score was 1220. After 24 classes, now this guy, talk about efficiency, 24 classes only, so it's 36 hours of class time. In that amount of time, in reading and writing, he went from 600 to 730, which was a 130-point increase. And in math, he went from 620 to 760 on a real test. That's a 140-point increase. So his starting total score is 1220. He ended up getting a 1490 on a real test. That's a 270-point increase in only 36 hours of class time. That's highly efficient. This guy was focused. I think that if he had done a little bit more, and if he would have taken it again, he would have maybe even gotten higher. But here's what I know. Kids will get their highest scores when they're most motivated. So just because you give them more time doesn't necessarily mean they'll do better. And I covered something about this in previous videos. But motivation is such a big key in success, right? I mean, that seems like common sense, but a lot of times we forget that we think we just keep pushing them. If we keep, just taking the test more and more and more, each time they'll get better and better and better. It's not true. what's most important is how motivated they are and what kind of desire they have in their own minds and in their own hearts. So anyway, Matt was a wonderful student. And I was just so proud of his parents that they didn't push their lives on him. They let him decide and explore what he wanted to do in his own life. So I just thought that was a wonderful example. As always, if you're interested in becoming one of my students, the best thing is go to my website, ckeducation.org, and fill out the SAT prep application form. And in the form, there's a comment section on the bottom. And if you would write in there why you think you would be a great fit as one of my students, I will read that personally. I will get back to you personally, and I hope to hear from you. So until my next video, stay well, and we'll see you later.